What's up, guys? I just wanted to show you a quick tutorial. Easy. I enjoyed our conversation earlier, so I figured I could help you both. Two birds, one stone. First things first, I will go to my platform for GPT. That's the avatar we're working on. That's like 3 steps away. But here we go. GPT. All right. First, in the middle to the bottom are the individual chats. I prefer to use those as like testing grounds because if you try to do too many things in one chat, it'll muddy the results. Also, within a chat, you have a limited context window. So, like for John, I wouldn't recommend building a consistent sermon editor or assistant writer in there because it's weaker and you'll eventually run out of room and you'll have so much data in one thread that it'll stop processing. Okay. So what you do is you go to projects. This is kind of like an upgrade. Once you have a format that's working really well for you within one of these chats, here I got a little scroller on the screen now, and then you go to projects up here. A project you can use for 2 different things. You can use it for strictly organization. Like here, I'll open up Thad's real quick. Now up here, he has individual threads that pertain to all his work stuff. Up here is add files and add instructions. These are 2 parts to creating a custom GPT brain. Add instructions is where you want to put your markdown format system. Markdown format is essentially a combination or a hybrid of code and natural language, the way we talk. But the hardest thing AI does is trying to understand what we're typing into it. So if you can type into it in its own language, Markdown, then the results are way better. And I'll show you a trick on how to do that really easy. Add files, that's where you put your screenshots, your sermons, your PDFs, anything you want this brain to be educated on, okay? This is strictly for organization. Here, you know what? I'll just build you one. Why show you? Here we go. Rocks Locks. I'm building this for another customer. 16 different files. Prompt instructions. Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to do any of that. Back out of here. How can I pause the video? All right, cat was distracting me there. Threw me off my game. So we'll go to Rocks Locks. Now, if you're using it as a brain and not just organization, now you have the files, you have the instructions. Now, every single one of these individual threads will factor in the instructions and the knowledge database to its responses. And you can build out as many threads as you need to. You could build out a different thread for each sermon. Ben, you could upload your workouts, literal pictures of your whiteboard. It might be tougher for the CPU to read, or you could just upload documents. But then it can start to learn your training style, your speaking style, and I can teach you guys how to do all that so that it's copied almost perfectly. And then, let me pause this. That's why I sent you Kerry Oberbrunner's thing. He was a pastor for like 15 years, but then he started his business to help people write books and monetize their IP in like 20 different ways. It's just good insight because you guys both have IP, regardless if you decide to write a book or an ebook or a course. So it just helps structure your thoughts. Cool guy to check out. Now I'll help you build a faux lawyer right in front of you. All right, so we'll go new project. Let's go faux lawyer. We'll add files. We'll just upload a document. Hold up. We'll just upload a document of a contract we have for work. Omnibus consolidation. And there we go. So you got one file in there for it to reference. Got one file. Now we're going to go add instructions. All right. I can teach you how to do these custom and a lot better, but this is a quick trick hack. All right, we're going to go to searchpromptly.com. I got it pulled up on another screen here. Where is it? Oh, maybe I don't. There we go. Now what you're going to do is you go up to the top here, just type in natural language what you want. I want you to be a world-class Harvard lawyer to advise me on a contract and business dealing. You hit generate. Now it's going to think. I'll pause this while it does that. This is obviously a very crude natural language prompt. I'm just going through a quick example of how to build a project brain, because then what that project brain does is it helps you create a more fleshed out custom GPT or chatbot. Here's our example. Show more. This, you see the hashtags, you see the asterisks, you see the summaries, the output format, examples. This is all called context engineering within prompt engineering. I could do another step and create it into JSON code, but we're not going to worry about that. What we do is we copy this up here, right? And then we put it in our instructions. So let's go back to the top here. Go back to GPT. Copy the instructions right in there. See that? Hit save. Pause the video. All right. Now we have an education instruction database. We don't have obviously any lawyering within the files. You'd like it to be educated in a real world, but it will go access a more refined neural network when it searches the internet to help you. So let's ask it a question. What is the greatest weakness in this contract I should look to monetize? Answer concisely in 8th grade level terminology. And there you go. Now you're getting actual responses ripped directly from the contract, and it even cites it. Look, if I zoom in here, Omnibus, here, it's not letting me zoom, so there, Omnibus Consolidation Agreement, and it's telling me in simple language how to proceed. There you go. You have a custom, a project, but it is essentially a custom GPT brain. Now you got your one thread in there. Now, if you wanted something you want to sell to people or monetize or create an actual custom GPT, which might fit your use case a bit better, Ben, because you want to do like a hosted chatbot, you would go to the left, you'd click GPTs. These are free custom GPTs. It's a whole cache or library. And again, this whole layout might be different for Grok, but just wanted to show you, okay? There's a lot of free custom GPTs that you can just access. You can also monetize. They're all up here for different use cases, but you go to the top right corner and you hit create, and it'll take you through a more fleshed out version of what we just did to create your chatbot. And just to show you that it was the quick and dirty, and I love you guys, costs about $150,000 to millions to create a large language model. A smaller version of that, or microcosm, would be a custom chatbot, anywhere from $5,000 to $30,000. All right, and if you guys ever needed help with creating one of those, I could help you. But if my time is limited, then I'd probably just get you 90% of the way there with strategy, and then I might have to pass off the technical work to a freelancer on Fiverr or Upwork, somebody in India who does a lot of this stuff very well and can compete on price, so you get it done cheap. Let me know if you have any questions.